Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and with me, it's not Tavern Chat. Shit, it's a random party generator, and these fucks didn't correct me. So I'm sure L will correct me in a fucking chat right now. Fuck you, L. We love you, but fuck you. With me, as is every other Friday, is none other than Rob Bat in the Attic Conley. I do like that artwork, Rob. It's very nice.
Richard Luschek, the same guy who does the hard artwork, including the new Kingdom of Asmir, which is the Dwarven Kingdom of Harn.
That's the Kickstarter that's going on right now. I may link it later. It's done about 58,000 already in funding. Month and a half to go. We'll have a lot of Kickstarter talk, I'm sure, during this episode. And the one, the only, Greg Chubby Funsta.
Hola,
¿qué tal? Oh, and at some point, Joe the lawyer, who is currently stuck at a soft opening at a new restaurant, which according to him means no wait staff. Joe should be meeting us in progress. Will Mr. Matt, I love ladders to the point that I make mad, passionate sex to them. I make sounds like Baldur's Gate 3. Like Matt could be a voice actor for Baldur's Gate 3 if it involved ladders. All right, he could do those passionate scenes. Matt might even join us. And yes, Matt, if you're watching at this point, come on, that's about the best get you're gonna get, man. That really spot on. So there we go. Now I don't know if you guys you two saw the update on the theft of the $300,000 of Magic the Gathering cards from Gen Con.
They had some suspect I saw. That was
they named the two suspects, by the way.
Oh.
They named the two suspects. They know who they are. One, their first picture has them like with the edge of an American flag next to them. So, having been a civil servant, but I was a uniformed civil servant, I suggest or I believe that this individual who comes from New York City is likely a New York City employee. That looks like a picture that could have been taken in an official capacity at some point.
Were they con goers or just?
I don't know. Well, but not only that, one of them apparently is affiliated with some. That same idiot is affiliated with some gaming company publisher out in the West Coast that I never heard of. But he was wearing the publisher's shirt during the theft. Okay, so if you go to see, listen, folks. If you want to get away from like a little fender bender, right, and not have to be responsible for it, don't have like Voltron as your vanity plate, right? Because people are gonna go, "Hey, I saw Voltron. Voltron's the asshole that hit that guy." Don't wear a company that you're like. If I was gonna do something, don't wear Frog God on my shirt. You know, just small basic things. But then there's a picture of these two jackasses at somebody else's like table at Gen Con talking about the complete strategist and recommending it for anybody who loves board games out on the East Coast. So I'm guessing that one or the other runs games or is a frequent flyer at the complete. So, I mean, $300,000 in collectible cards, that's an 8 felony grand larceny. Really spot on, you know, I'm with stupid. So, can't make it up. Rob, you're holding up a note. Note to represent.
Shit, I'm trying to get this mirroring correct. Not going to have
I
the
can
same.
read it.
Black Sharpie.
Note this
represents a failed intelligence check.
Okay.
But criminals always are the smartest people among us.
Dude, it's a convention, and they had cosplay. If you're going to form a heist, there are cameras around. You could have.
Yeah, you could have dressed as a ninja, and everybody been like, "That's cool."
Literally, ninjas stealing Magic the Gathering cards, you know, and nobody would have looked at them. They thought they must be setting up in a hall H.
Just walk. Look at that. Just walk right out with it now. And then of course the jokes are nonstop about it. But the point is, how do you resell $300,000 worth of collectible cards? Because these are going to be everybody's going to be looking for them. Any reputable business is going to be suspicious when you come up and go, hey, I've got a pallet of Magic the Gathering cards. I can give it to you for half wholesale. And they can look at you and go, what convention truck do these things fall off of? You know? I
Did you
mean,
see Posty bought I think it was $2 million Magic card? It was some sort of, it was on the Joe Rogan. I'm sure a lot of you don't watch that.
excuse me, Joe Rogan's on what? Spotify? I refuse to pay for Spotify at the moment. No.
Yeah, Posty told him that he bought, I think it was like $2 million. It was a Magic card that was a Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering crossover or something, but there's only like one in the entire world, and he apparently owns it now. Oh, there he goes. Yep, there. James knows about it.
I sold all my Magic cards about a week ago. I felt like the time was right to get out. So
I sold my Magic cards back in 1999. Well,
Yeah.
what I didn't sell, I put through the wash. But I sold all the stuff that now is going probably for tens, if not like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I made back $1,500 on like I don't know, $100 investment in a few packs I bought.
I made a couple $100 off of my beta set.
I didn't get in early enough, but I had a lot of, maybe Ice Age 4th edition time frame stuff, and I got enough that I didn't feel like I got cheated. Just kind of my bar.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like with me, my friends had absolutely no interest in learning how to play this game. And in Magic the Gathering, it's kind of hard to figure out how to play on your own as your own opponent. And it's kind of like, all right, well, the cards look pretty, but I have other places for pretty artwork, and they're willing to pay me money for certain cards that were banned within years because they were too powerful. Was it Chromatic Dragon or Orb of something? I don't remember, but these
Moxes and
well, Dwayne almost got mugged by me and Dwayne.
What?
We were sitting around.
Dwayne almost got mugged by you and Dwayne.
Yeah,
wow,
so we were.
Sounds like you're a mugger,
Rob, have you been drinking?
But we were sitting around the table after one of our sessions, and me and Dwayne were showing Tim the Magic cards that we got. And Tim gets his look on his face. And, I think I have those. And me and Dwayne look at you. Do? Yeah. Because, Tim didn't mention this. He's not really into games like that. Right. Yeah, the lady at B. Dalton has recommended to me. I bought 2 decks or whatever. So he brought them out, and it's like they were alphas.
Oh, I had betas.
Yeah, we have betas too. They were alphas, black border alpha, and we went like that, and Tim was like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing?" And yeah, so we're in our rush to look at Tim's card, we almost stampeded Tim. So not that would have been a wise decision on our part because Tim still pretty much had his football build back then.
Are you saying that 30 years later he no longer has his football build?
I think both of us would die if we even tried any kind of a physical competition.
Yeah, I just gave myself a bad cough. Oh.
Although for the upcoming fight, I've lost 20 pounds so far. So,
God damn it!
Good job, bro.
Good job.
It's thanks to the new medicine I'm using. It's the most important thing. It lowered my blood sugar, so my glucose levels are 30 points left on average, which is yay. And then I always have this weird quirk when I go camping. My appetite goes way down, so I don't eat as much while camping. I do need to eat on a regular basis, or I'll get hungry or stuff because of all the physical activity. But I don't need to eat as much, and that's how it feels like. I'm in camping mode all the time. I can eat one thing, one main dish, one side dish for dinner, and that's all I need. No snacks.
Well, I believe I'm already on the record of, betting that Rob's gonna wipe the floor with Joe.
Awesome.
Um,
I hope so.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what his
All of
his
Joe's
background
smack
is.
talk.
yeah, just because of the smack talk
Yeah.
alone, I feel like he has to be defeated by someone. I mean, if Rob fails, we're gonna have to find another champion.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no.
Well, hey, speaking of weight, so I'm sure this will be good news for all of you. So my daughter's boyfriend's birthday, I know this is weird tangent, is next month, and we are getting him a parachuting. He's going to jump out of a plane.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes. So guess who's joining him?
I have 2 friends that have done
Wow.
that. And
Yeah.
both
I've
did
never
it.
done it. I always wanted to in the Army. I never got the opportunity. So
Well, I know that they
figured-
let George Bush Sr. go, but are you sure that you're gonna be able to make it?
the funny thing is, though, when you buy the ticket,
Mm,
if you weigh over, I think it's 200 pounds, every pound over 200, they charge you like $2 more for your ticket. I don't know if it's like maybe like some sort of gas tax because you're a fat ass and they got to get you in the air or something. But yeah, so I'm going to cost more because he's a skinny little shit. But I was like, what the heck? I just thought it'd be really funny. I'm going to
Because
jump
the
out of a
equipment
plane.
is rated for a certain weight, and the higher poundage stuffed gear is hard to come by.
Oh, is that what it is? I have no idea.
Harder to come by.
Totally new. I think we do like the tandem. So like I'll have like the actual parachute guy on my back, I think is how it works. So I'm not doing it alone, but we're getting James, we're getting him a ticket to jump out of a plane. So
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just make sure you give him the right shoot. Wink, wink.
Oh, hold the presses. Joe is heading home now.
Oh,
Yeah. Joe had to
thanks
bulk
for
up.
the update. Oof.
Joe had to bulk up for tonight.
I've never seen such whitey bitch texts from him.
I know.
It's
a new restaurant, you dummy. What do you expect?
Yeah, like, what do you think's gonna happen?
So it's not as exciting as parachuting, but I do have some news in that I just posted my last post after 14 years of on and off posting of my How to Make the Fantasy Sandbox series. And I have...
talking about game stuff?
No. Rob, cut this out. We're not talking game stuff, are we?
Sorry, my bad. Goodbye.
No, Rob. This is no. Come on, it's a
so the last post is about random encounters, and it goes in a little bit why I like to use a 1d4 plus 1d8 instead of like 2d6, because when you use 2 different dice like that, 1d4 plus 1d8, it forms a plateau in the middle. So that's where you can put all your common encounters, and then it has the bell curve on either end, but it has that nice flat spot. The Monster Manual 2 does it. They do it a D8 plus a D20, but I didn't want to make that many entries, so I stuck with something. I stuck with a D4 plus a D8, which means I only had to make up 11 stuff.
So how many pages did it end up being?
When I consolidated everything, it is 35,000 words, and it's going to be 129. It's going to be 130-ish page digest size.
Okay.
Are you publishing it like with art and all that?
Oh yeah. I got it. I got the first draft done. Joe has graciously edited. He got his done. So now
I know he was sending me like hourly updates. Like it was me, Ivy, and Tim, and it was like, I'm on page 20. I got to take a break. I'm on page.
So you
35.
guys have a fucking secret chat that I don't. I'm not on?
Yeah, I think that the community of guys around Joe in gaming carry the full emotional weight of maybe 2 or 3 wives. I mean, Joe being unmarried just throws this out. It's like a negative externality in economics. He's just pouring pollution into the environment around him, and we have to suck it up because he won't.
That's
shack
why we
up
got to
with a
spread it
chick.
out into multiple
Yeah,
groups. So
exactly. Yeah,
if you've had enough of Joe for a while, like our chat that we have, for me is typically muted, and I just check it every once in a while when I see.
Oh yeah, dude, you have
sometimes
to,
Joe
you
goes
have to
on and
mute
just
it.
no. Sometimes Joe goes on a rampage and talks for like 16 hours, or I get Rob really worked up about some statistical shit, and he goes on for like 4 hours telling me how I'm wrong. So I'll just mute it and like.
I've been ignoring half your posts, Matt.
It's
Dude,
a
I
game
hang-
now,
I
man.
know it's a full errand, especially you're getting too obvious too.
I know.
You got to up your game.
You
I
gotta be
just
more
gotta poke you
stealth.
just the right way.
But no, I had to mute that one early on because I was trying to sleep, and I mean, I don't have to get up at 7 a.m. like some of you fuckers do. I hear bink, bink. What the fuck? Who that? Oh
Yep.
no! And they're going back and forth because people are on the way to work. Bink, 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 bink. And I'm like, fuck. It's like I can only imagine if I was still working and I'd have to.
Yeah, I've muted mine. I some mornings I'll wake up and I'll find it. My wife has pushed it off of my nightstand into the clothes hamper so that it won't make any noise.
It's a little
vibrating.
bit more muffled.
I'm not
mean,
the only one.
Yeah, I mean, just these guys are going off at 1 o'clock in the morning having some discussion.
Does Rob have a YouTube channel?
Working on it.
He's got a blog. It's batintheattic.com. Or
Well, but that's not a channel, though, is it? You don't have a channel, do you?
No, I'm working on it.
Get on it.
I don't want to put out. I don't want to put out one thing and that's it for like 3 months. You
mean like Joe?
Oh,
yeah, like Joe.
Like
well,
Matt?
you can talk now that you picked up the pace with your solo RPG. But I say about 3 weeks ago, you didn't have a leg.
Oh, actually, it was about less than that. It was about 10 days ago. Yeah, I think I had like 10 months since my last post, but I think Joe is like January. It was around the whole OGL thing when he just wouldn't shut up about OGL and was trying to ride that whole Wizards of the Coast OGL hate bandwagon.
Right. But then it didn't do much good. It's like,
well, he got a bunch of hits on like 2 or 3 videos, but now he's back like to his normal level. So
sorry, Matt. I don't want to hear it from you from the OGL. When it's going to be a cold day in hell before you came out with a core rule book of your own.
I have no desire to do that.
That's right. So, as far as your adventures and what you're interested in and making maps, the OGL doesn't mean diddly to you.
Exactly. That's why I'm not interested in it. That's why when you guys go off on your tangent for like 3 days talking about it, that is when the mute definitely comes on our chat group. Because I'm like, oh, Rob's talking about the OGL. Oh, wait, no, it's Orc. What's the other ones?
Orc.
Well, no, there's another one in there.
Oh, Creative Commons
it doesn't Matt Finch have
or something like that.
Yeah, see, I don't even know.
No, Matt Finch's decision has re-entered the quantum uncertainty state.
Oh wait, it's a little late. Didn't he release his game?
Yeah, didn't he? I thought he already put. Wait,
his book is under. He took advantage of the Creative Commons license,
okay.
So he cited the 5e SRD as his source.
Who's L hiding behind the Open D&D little icon there?
L is a frequent flyer, by the way. Just saying.
Is he? She? Okay.
Oh, also, it's part of the how to make the fantasy sandbox. So that's going to be a book. And most of the art's done because it's mostly the graphics I created for my blog post. I'll just have to update a few things.
Is there going to be AI art?
I am not going to use AI art. I was never going to use AI art. I played around with AI art. It doesn't do what I want.
I love it. Sorry, guys.
But anyway, this over here,
that's
in addition to the book, I will be releasing a new layout, a digest layout of Castle Blackmarsh, or not Castle Blackmar, Blackmar, and this is going to be. I paid Richard Lutzchick a couple $100 to make that cover for me, and that's going to be the cover. Well, it's going to be part of the cover. It's going to have a border with shields around, heraldic shields around it.
You gonna kickstart it? Get some cloth maps made. That'd be cool.
No,
Ooh.
I'm not up to the point where I'm comfortable ordering print run. So it's going to be print on
Yeah,
demand.
I was looking at a Kickstarter the other day, and they had so many add-ons that I was like, oh my gosh, there were like miniatures. There was different cloth maps for stuff. Wait, was that Dolmenwood? That might have been Dolmenwood.
Haven't
I was
been
like,
Dolmenwood. That's why I was like, I'm not going in for everything. I got a limit.
So kudos to Domanwood for going all out, but I'm to toot my own horn. I feel my stuff is going to be just as good and a heck of a lot more affordable. So
I loved his stuff. I backed him on Patreon for a long time. Loved it. I thought it was great stuff, but I don't play OSE, and honestly, I don't need yet. I know this may come as a shock to people on here, but I don't need yet another version of the OSE rules. I know it's got some additional stuff, but I mean, how many times have we had different versions of different? This one is in a slipcase. This one is in one tome. This one has a different cover now. I think we have at least 4 different versions of OSE that you can own.
I know.
But Matt, you don't run a campaign with them, so you can just keep adding more and more and more. It doesn't matter. You're not like, you don't feel obligated to use the product.
Dolmenwood is fantastic. The setting is amazing, and actually, I don't know, at the end of the campaign, I don't think you can buy a shag carpet. Sorry. I don't think you can buy just the campaign book. I think you got to buy all 3. I'd love to have the campaign book, but I just don't need all the.
Yeah, I think in the Kickstarter, I think you gotta.
I think you got to buy all 3 in a slip.
Yeah, I am going to bet that after the Kickstarter, they will sell the books individually on their website. But I guess, I mean, listen, they're knocking on $1 million. I called it early. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like a $2.2 million Kickstarter. I think they're gonna do really well.
2.2. Really?
I think
that's great.
I'm gonna say 2.2. I'm gonna pull a number out of my ass because I'm on the screen and I'm an expert.
All right, let's call it here. I'm gonna say 1.8.
All right,
Rob, what you got?
I don't got anything. I don't. It's not my kind of setting. I don't know the people who it appeals to. So, I mean, I'm glad it's doing well. It's distinctive. I'll give him points for being distinctive. We need more of that.
Yeah.
We need more things that are their own, like your Shadow Dark. Is that not your Shadow Dark? Shadow Sun?
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm working on a Shadow Rim that's a Skyrim version. I am actually we've been running it on Saturday nights, and I've got a print copy that I'm going to be using. My son's just turned 13, and we're doing a birthday party tomorrow night with a bunch of friends, and they're going to run it. So they're going to go into a Draugr ruin and explore around in some classic Skyrim locations.
Oh,
should be good.
Yep.
I already like L. I
There
like
you
L. Yeah, he's right on stuff. So
speaking of
Greg,
Draugr,
do a let's see, what can we call it? Shadowgate, and you could have a little chapter about bears.
No,
let's
I'm
not
not
get into
opening. Let's we're not teenagers, Matt. We don't need to.
Look. I will say, the choose your own genitals part when I got to the character creation.
No way.
No.
Was that really? No.
Yeah, Fatal lives, baby.
I don't know,
lives.
Eric. Would it get you demonetized if we do a demo of it? I mean,
no, man, do it. I don't care. Demonetize. They
may actually take your video down if you have a big
you know
honking
what?
wang hanging out in front.
I'm not the expert in YouTube content management, but this is full-on nudity. So,
all right.
Let's not do that.
It's cartoon nudity, and it's and again, listen, for the handful of fucks out there, who, by the way, I don't give 2 fucks about you individually, but the handful of fucks out there that go, 10 core only dislikes new TSR because they sort of mobilizing people and raising money because of the the WotC disclaimer about the old legacy products. Listen, the disclaimer on the old legacy products is a lazy disclaimer. It's put on anything that they just time frame wise could offend somebody without even looking at it. And yet, at the same time, these same suits are willing to license a product out that allows you to choose your genitalia during character generation under Dungeons and Dragons. So if you think that they have moral standards at WotC, if you think that that morality disclaimer was done because they have moral standards, you're out of your fucking mind.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, it's all overblown. I mean, I read the analysis of how the bear scene occurs, and it's pretty darn specific. And remember, the bear is not a bear; it's a shape-shifted.
It's a shape-shifting druid.
Yeah, but
If it's shape-shifted into a child, are you going to still say
yeah,
it
is that
wasn't?
all right?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
No.
my
But to
problem
me, it
with
doesn't.
is,
It
why is
doesn't
even
matter.
there?
It shouldn't matter. But like Lewis Black has a great bit about how he had to do the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and they told him that he couldn't curse. And he's like, "So what you're saying is I'm going to be talking to the best of the best, our front line of defense, the strongest people in the country. But if I say the word poopy, it'll make them cry." Like it's like what either you're adults or you're not. If you're an adult, you can have Al Qadim with slavery and all kinds of difficult topics built into the setting. If you're not an adult, then you don't get druid bear sex. One or the other. Either you're able to handle adult topics or you're not.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
Eric, I'm going to reply. I thought D&D was a family fan. So, aside from the jokes about bears and
Mhm.
choose your own genitalia, the whole thing is definitely a hard R. Okay.
okay.
Okay. The opening scene is
I didn't say Baldur's Gate though. I said
Cthulhu.
D&D as a brand is a family game.
Okay.
That's what
But
it's billed as, right? It's billed as a family game. And if you listen to Chris, my name is Cox, not making it up, so that's his name. If you listen to Chris Cox, this game, there's 80 million tabletop RPG players, but there's 800 million. I don't know where he found that number. He's talking numbers like Donald Trump or Biden does, just pulls them out of their ass. But there's 800 million RPG players. He means computer RPG players. They're trying to tap that number, and they don't care whether that player is 12, 20, or 82. They want to bring them into D&D, the new brand, which isn't tabletop gaming. He said it's all about digital. That was on the latest earnings report when he had to do the update and answer questions. So, but D&D has always been a family activity. It's built as a family game. It's built as you can have your kids play it. Yet you're telling me that the game, the computer game that you want to build your new empire on, is rated M. Let you pick your genitalia, and I'm not
no,
saying
Eric, it's not that you get to pick your genitalia that's the problem with the game. The problem with the game, it's like Cthulhu. It's Cthulhu. I mean, the opening sequence is this Cthulhu,
Well, it's mind
Cthulhu
flayers,
type
right?
nightmare.
The lithids, the mind flayers.
Illicit, yes. It's about okay. So I was trying to avoid spoilers, but yes, mind flayers, and they do, and it's really good. I mean, it's really good what they do, and but it's also Chris Cox. You don't know what you're talking about if this is what you're going to hinge your next generation
I
on.
don't. There's this assumption in a lot of the ways that people talk, as if, and like Derek, like that you think that they actually care. Like, they're branding it as a family thing, but they don't. They didn't sit around and think up. Gee, we think it would be good for children if we.
Well, see, I think Greg, that's where you
Yeah,
got it wrong. The
they're
definition of family. What's their definition of family?
yeah.
Then?
I mean, they just want to make money.
That's all they
And
care about.
yeah, they're making it this way to try to move units.
Yeah,
That's
you get to
all.
choose a dick size. You get to choose the pubic volume of the pubic hair. You get to choose a man and have a vulva, a vagina. You could be a chick.
No.
Wait,
You got. There's 6 selections for each. That's it.
Yeah. But
No-
you got whatever. You
there's
can mix
no
and match that shit, right?
slider.
Rob, did you
There's
take
no
notes?
slider bars on any of that.
No, I'm talking about a slider, right? You get to choose. You could choose to be a man and have a vagina. Just because you didn't do it, I kind of it's my kind of kink, so I kind of did that shit. I tried that shit out. That's how you.
Lo
That's
and
what
behold,
happens,
Joe
man.
tried it out,
You
of course.
would, Joe. And sorry, Joe, you missed it, but we debated streaming it, and we decided that.
I heard you. I was trying to get my avatar. I did a goddamn cleanse of my computer, and I deleted all my cookies, every other goddamn thing, so I had to figure out
there
my
you go.
avatar again.
But by the way, Don makes a good point. They're advertising this on Nickelodeon, so it might be rated M, but they are aiming it as, "Mommy, I'm only 13, but I want it for my birthday."
Oh,
But there is a choice. Do you want to see
Hold
dick
on.
or not?
Let-
That's
let
what
me
it
tell
is. You
you.
have a choice.
I work with a lot of kids. Well, I call them kids because I'm old, but
Uh,
people between 20 and like 30, and they
Watch
freaking watch Nickelodeon. I'm like, they're like, "Yeah, did you see the last episode of SpongeBob?" And I'm like, "No."
All right, listen, SpongeBob is an excuse, but and now by the way, and Don makes another point. As for M in the ESRB, it does not allow nudity or explicit sexual acts. It's what AO is for, but you can't do AO, just like you can't do NC-17, because the moment you label a movie NC-17, it will not sell. Just like PG is a kiss of death these days. PG pretty much is too. They had to add PG-13 just so you could allow, say, like, shit and piss, and like people go see a movie. So if you rated this T for teens, people are like, well, I don't want to play that. I mean, it won't even have any. I get more gore when Joe describes a combat scene. I want at least that much, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a good game. I like it. I enjoy it. But I
I've
was
heard
kind of
no
shocked
bad
to see a
reviews.
dick.
I've heard no bad reviews for it.
What?
As a Mac owner, I am surprised that's being released on Mac initially.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's unheard of. So I
Yeah,
give
yeah.
props for that. Okay, and again, you can do
Baldur's Gate 3
multiplayer.
is available on the Mac.
Yeah.
Cool.
Guys, look at it this way, guys. I am not a video gamer. Tim, I know is. Greg's a big time video gamer. I think Rob even dabbles. Eric might even as well. And Eric does the fit gaming stuff, but I don't play video games. And I like my peak was Atari, the original 2600, and then I just stopped playing until EverQuest came out, and I played that with my brother, and then I played Doom 2 before that. So really, I'm like I'm not. I can't say it any better. I'm not a video gamer, and I enjoy this, right? And so that says something. It's a good game. It's a really good game. It's fun. It's got some depth to it. I mean, it's a decent time, But again, shocked to see a dick on character generation.
That's part of my thing, though. If, like Eric is saying, this is your what do you call it? Your flagship. You're trying to bust into this market to make the D&D brand, important in this market, which is huge.
Right.
The digital gaming market is huge.
Yeah.
And this is what you lead with. Think about it. From now on, nothing we say to any gamer person is going to make a difference when they think of D&D. It's going to be this.
I agree.
Yeah.
A couple of people are talking about how this game is going to do for whatever edition, whatever you want to call it, 5.0, 5.5, 6.0, whatever you want to call it, what Critical Role did for when 5e came out. You know what I mean? It's like it's going to bring people to the game. I think it will.
And not only that, but I don't think they really have any intent of this is going to lead people to tabletop role playing. I don't think they give a shit.
No,
but for those of us who do, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is D&D," and then they're going to come to the table and they're going to be like,
"Well, but that's the reason why they're going to be bringing you to the VTT." All right.
Yeah,
the idea is
you're
going to play Baldur's Gate, and then you're going to transition to a more open theater of the mind.
They're not going to understand.
No, they aren't.
From this.
No, they aren't.
That's
a crap shot. No
See,
way.
Matt, you're not bringing in the hypocritical angles enough. See, after you watch this Baldur's Gate game and you get all juiced up for some real sex D&D action, then when you get on the VTT, all of that will be heavily policed, and you will be hurting people's feelings, and they will need X cards. You see, you're forgetting the other side of this. It's all part of an arc.
I forgot about the X
You
cards.
start with the
Ah.
perverted bear sex, but you end with the X card. It's perfect.
I gotta tell you,
marketed
you've
X
no
cards
idea
yet.
how many games. You know, I float over in that itch world that you guys don't know about. Every time I pick up a game and I open up the first page, and the first thing is the content warning or the, being inclusive. I shut that shit and I never look at it again. Your game could be the best damn game written by Jesus himself. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
I'm so sick of that crap.
Yep.
I just got canceled. Thanks, guys.
You're not.
Why do you think you're getting canceled by not liking games with content?
Oh, because I will. I'm sure someone is.
Matt, you got to have a web page and a YouTube channel in order to get canceled. You have neither, so what? You're not. How could you
We
get
already
canceled?
discussed this, Joe. You were late to the show.
I know. I heard it in the car. You got like one more. You got 2 more videos and one more subscriber now.
Yep.
I haven't released a video in 2 months, and I'm getting 1 or 2 new subs a day.
I'm shaking my head because you sound like my dad and my uncle and
He's
their
as old as
friends
your fucking
sitting
father.
around the table and in the mid '70s talking about the fucking Trilateral Commission. Sorry,
That's a real
deja
thing, Rob.
vu for
You don't
me.
fuck with the Trilateral Commission, Rob. That's a real fucking thing. All right.
Help me, get me out of this.
We're not gonna fuck with them.
All right, we're going to go over this real quickly because I think this is important. This is Chris Cox answering a question during the call talking about the earnings for the second quarter. I would say the underlying thesis of our D&D business was all about digital. To me, entertainment's a kicker. They're talking about the movie there. It helps to enhance broader audience exposure to what's traditionally a mid-core to a hardcore gaming brand. And what digital allows us to do is kind of take that tabletop role-playing game. And then somebody explained what TAM meant, I forget. And that we have in the world, which is probably about 80 million people who participate in these hobbies and frequent that kind of channel, and take our brand like D&D to 800 million people who will play role-playing games. He's talking digital. He's talking virtual. And so I think Baldur's Gate 3 is just the first of several new digital initiatives you're going to see from us that span how we try to transform tabletop role-playing gaming to an even richer theater of the mind experience. Now, if you're playing tabletop, you understand theater of the mind. He does not. He sees theater of the mind as going from Baldur's Gate 3 to a virtual tabletop.
Yeah.
Experience.
He doesn't know what the hell he doesn't know what D&D is, dude. He doesn't know. He knows 3 letters. That's all he knows. And it's not even a letter. It's an ampersand. That's all he knows. About it.
So I mean, that just again to WotC, to Hasbro, tabletop role playing, tabletop RPGs are irrelevant if they're not digital. And if you're playing on paper, if you're playing on your table, and Rob, I understand that you think this is totally wrong and that it's not going to happen. Well, WotC is betting $1 billion that it will.
Yeah, I know.
And they've done the market research.
What do you mean I don't think will happen?
I'm thinking that you don't agree with them putting all this energy into digital, moving to the VTT, putting physical books to the side almost. It's gonna get harder and harder to find WotC paper releases because they're gonna be pushing you toward digital. That's already happening, but they've made $1 billion bet. D&D in a prior call was going to be their next $1 billion brand on its own, not with Magic. Wizards of the Coast was going to have $2 billion brands, and D&D was going to achieve that between the movie took a loss, and Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is kicking it, and it would have kicked it without the penises. Like, dwarves have penises and elves have vaginas. I think I'm doing Kindergarten Cop. But the reality is you didn't need this except for the fact that it gives them free advertising in the cycles. it keeps its game in everybody's mind because everybody's talking about it because of the penises and vagina.
So what will
That's the
happen
thing.
is they're going to exit the tabletop role playing market and
Well, yeah,
form.
that's the thing. They don't understand it, Rob. This goes back to a long history. Eric, I'm going to share something real quick here. I think I can without giving away any secrets of who I am. I had we all had a blog. Well, all of us had a blog except Matt. Matt still doesn't have a blog, but I had a blog way back in the day, in the old ancient days. And I remember Greg Leeds was the Wizards of the Coast president in 2010.
I remember
and I was mocking him because he's a douche. And 2010, I mean, they were dying, right? They were fucking dying off. And so I remember I posted this, Eric. It was completely juvenile, but as I say in my post, I took down my blog, but I still have it archived. And so Greg Leeds, I mocked him with the, standard little fucking, the Asmodeus beard and black eyes, but he was a diaper and luggage seller. If you look on his LinkedIn account, which I have there, he sold diapers and luggage, and they had him running D&D. This is a long record of people being hired because they have some stupid ass background that's nothing to do with fucking Dungeons and Dragons whatsoever, but they have marketing and connections, and they think marketing is everything. Marketing is a bunch of loser douchebags who don't know fucking shit about how to sell anything because they don't understand the hobby. They think it's all a widget. It's all a commodity. They think all they need to do is, buzzwords and whatever the latest things they read in the fucking Harvard Business Review and Business Week magazine, and they could get their way up to the top, and they don't do anything good. They never do anything good for the hobby because they don't understand it. That's why I got more respect for people who work at Wizards of the Coast than the people who run the fucking place. They don't understand who we are and what we do and what it's all about. This is
one or two things will happen. Either they'll exit the tabletop role playing market and be whatever weird hybrid that they're going to be with the VTT, or they're going to kind of do some of it, but course correct like they did after the 4E debacle. After Greg Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did 4E. He thought it was, I know, Warcraft is good. Let's make something like Warcraft. Fail. Good job, motherfucker.
Well, here's the thing to think about, all right? I personally look at it with this point of view. If they figure if by transitioning to a VTT as their main focus, right? They're looking at revenue from subscription services and I'm sure I can get additional special stuff if I just pay a little bit extra. If they convert, I don't know, 20% of Baldur's Gate players to their VTT, they're willing to lose 50% of their tabletop RPG players.
They don't
Like
care.
the tabletop, they're players that buy physical books. They're willing to lose half of that to gain 20% of the Baldur's Gate share because the Baldur's Gate share is already showing they're willing to pay for stuff that isn't physical. They'll be more willing to pay for things that are subscription services.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be more willing to pay for in-app purchases. So and when I say we, it's not just us old grognards, but it includes the 5e players. It includes, Pathfinder players. You are no longer going to be targeted by Wizards of the Coast because your wallets and purses are too closed to them. You don't make the money that their brand needs to make, and they don't hide it. It's not like we'll talk about this behind closed. They come out in a fucking call about their earnings and tell you that the future of D&D is digital. Period. This is what they're telling you that they expect to pick up their player base, their market share from Baldur's Gate 3. They're going to make money off Baldur's Gate 3 by getting their, I don't know, however many bucks per sale. But they're also going to be hoping to convert people not to sitting at a table with you, Rob, at a convention, or why they would want to sit with Matt, I don't know, but it could happen. They'd be like, Grandpa. But, I mean, the reality is...
He might drool on him. You have to, walk him to the bathroom and, help him. They don't fall.
We knew they had a disconnect with tabletop gamers when they showed off their VTT with 4 people sitting around a fucking conference table with Alienware laptops, playing VTT physically in the same space. That's when you knew they didn't understand
They don't get it.
Hey,
tabletop.
Eric, what were
Hold
what
on,
were the numbers?
hold on. That
Right,
I,
right.
Oh, fighting words.
I'm in a mood. I'm in a group that kind of does that already. They do it with the Foundry.
I have to admit one thing. We got together. Friend Dwayne flew out from where he lives, and we all got together for a day.
Right.
We did D&D all
Traitor.
day, and we had since our game is on Roll20, everything is there. The maps, everything is there, and we always play 100% of the time on Roll20. When he flew out, I mean, I printed up my character sheet, I brought dice and all that, but we still had a screen going for the Roll20 screen so we could move our tokens. So we had a sort of a hybrid thing. Even though I was rolling dice and we all had paper stuff, we had a
Right.
couple screens going to keep track of it. So, but that was an exception. That's not how we normally play. We normally play on Roll20 because we live all over the fucking place.
Would you go to a convention to play D&D? And I'm using D&D as the
No.
brand.
No.
With a laptop at a table with people in front of you and your head buried. I could do that from home. Why would I bother traveling? And that's the good
Exactly.
thing about VTTs. VTTs have that advantage, but they don't show that advantage. They wanted to show you all gaming at a table, but with their VTT, because they want to make sure that those people that are normally playing
Mhm.
face-to-face with paper books are
Mhm.
willing to move to playing with laptops and desktops.
Not only that, their laptops, Eric, were like $3,000 laptops. They
Oh,
were high
easily.
end.
Yeah.
Who the fuck could afford those things? You know?
I
But
hear-
Well,
I
here's
hear
the thing.
Matt
Here's
got
the thing
some
about
sweet
conventions too, Eric. They don't have the infrastructure to support every like what Joe experienced. What I
they
what
don't
I
have the
thought.
infrastructure to support people using that fucking PayPal widget thingy to run up sales half the time. It's like, oh, there's too many people logged in. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to like wait for a better connection before I can ring you up on the swipe. I mean, it is no way any hotel or convention center is ready for that.
But here, but
You have to scale.
what my point is that we don't have to care about what Wizards does anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
Doman
need
Wizards
anything that they
approaching
make.
what you bet $1.2 million, Eric, or $2.1 million. Might have
Yeah,
swapped the
2.2.
numbers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you bet that. I mean, not the the Harn thing is about as niche as they come. They have almost $58,000 and 636 backers with 6 days to go. I mean, that's not $2.2 million, but that's not shabby either. And you got all these, and I'm seeing this list, and it seems to me that all these indie slash OSR slash independents are doing a lot better this year than they were for the last couple of years.
Oh, during the OGL fiasco, certainly. But here's the thing. This is, I'm not an expert on this, but if WotC essentially leaves the playing field and takes D&D to the digital field, leaving behind players like Pathfinder, Chaosium, I think that you're going to wind up losing a large part of your player base because there's an overlap, and you're going to lose people who will transition. You're going to, and you can have a lot of people just drop out of the hobby. But I think I think overall, Wizards of the Coast and their D&D brand has always, to some extent, driven the hobby at large. And when 5e was on a rise, third-party publishers were on a rise. And when 5e started to stagnate, third-party publishers started to stagnate.
Yeah.
Happened with Pathfinder. If they pull themselves out of the market, what's going to happen to these people that were publishing on D&D DM's Guild and places like that?
I mean,
I mean,
there's still
Well,
going to be publishers.
I'm sorry, I spoke too much. Somebody else was speaking.
Good. I like when you get on a roll.
If
Rob.
they screw with the Guild people, then it's not going to be quite like the OGL fiasco, but among that crowd, they'll have a similar level of disgust. But since their hands are tied by the IP agreement by the agreement they agreed to, they're just going to go and do what Kelsey did with Shadow Dark. They're going to come. They're going to figure out. What?
My bet is that by the time the VTT releases, DM's Guild will either be solely owned by WotC or it's going to be shut down. Because
Shut down.
I
It's gonna be
can't
shut
see,
down, I think.
I can't see Roll20, which is what Drive-Thru is now, and WotC with their own VTT coexisting peacefully,
Yeah.
because that Roll20 is the biggest threat to the success of WotC's VTT. Nothing happens in a vacuum.
I agree.
And about the customer base, Eric, I kind of disagree, but only in part. In that, by moving their stuff so digital so heavily, they're competing in a different arena. They're competing in the world of computer gaming, and that has its own rules as far as how customer based, how games go in and out of favor among customers. There are computer games with a loyal fan base, but it's not the same way the tabletop works. So that's, if anything, if any rock is going to appear that's going to hold their ship of state, that's going to be it's going to be on that. The fact they're now dealing with a computer gaming audience, and they're saying, "What? We had all these loyal tabletop customers. Why aren't they these new guys acting the same?"
It pains me to say this, but I think Rob actually really hit on something critical here.
Sorry to cost you pain,
yeah.
Joe.
I mean, damn. After all of our disagreements about AI and everything, but the loyalty is a thing. It's not. There's an enormous graveyard of computer games that came and went. And the idea you're going to maintain loyalty through all of that. I mean, you could have somebody who buys this game right now because it's popular, and then they play it for a little bit and put it down. And then there are other people who, some games like Skyrim or something where people are playing it 20 years later. I mean, it's a totally different market. And if people get, oh, this is just a little, kitschy thing where they, trying to make sales by having a little bear on bear action, then they don't go back and buy the next version, because they're like, well, I don't really want there's so many more factors that they're not taking into account in a digital space, that they've never had to deal with before, because they've had very, very loyal customers.
Right, and it's also, when you're dealing particularly in the AAA market, the game title, it's a lot like movie making, in that there's a lot of resources plowed into there, and you're never really sure this blockbuster you're working on is really going to be a blockbuster. I mean, you try to ultimately it's your best guess, but then you have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny versus Indiana Jones and the Raiders of Ark Light. It just doesn't translate that way. But then you get but if you're lucky, you get somebody like James Cameron, who comes out with the second Avatar, which is as well received as the first one, even though they're like decades apart. So you're opening up to
Whoa.
that. Oh, Eric, come on!
Wow. I told you. You can have
Yeah.
a woman with a dick.
All right. Well, hopefully, YouTube doesn't pick up on that one, because that is.
I told you.
Hey,
I told you.
Before you throw it up on the screen.
What?
I'm sorry. I just saw Joe had something to put up, and I put it up, and then I went, okay. So,
Joe, can you go in your latest save and just show that and show what it's like?
That's no fun.
So,
you want to see a woman with it?
Right. Now, not for nothing.
That's puerile, Joe.
Well, that is puerile, but so was the.
You're making a point, though.
But so was the bear scene. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm pointing.
There's no way that we got to that exact scene based upon the audience voting. Okay,
yeah.
That was a preset, ready to. Oh, let the audience vote. Let me say what you think about this. Yes.
Well, the news said that their sales skyrocketed after the news of that. So it was either, I don't know, disgusting habits, moral gutter, or curiosity.
That they'd actually do that.
I told you. You didn't believe me. Rob doubted me, so I had to show the proof.
I mean, so I mean,
What did
so
I tell you about? I knew about the bear.
He
scene.
knew about it. He just didn't.
No. About you could be a
I even
woman
read
with
the
a penis
walkthrough,
and a
how you
man
get-
with a
how you-
vulva. You didn't
Well,
think
I
that was
knew
true?
you could do that. I have Baldur's Gate 3.
All right. How come
He
you didn't
just-
play with a
He
guy
just
like
didn't
that?
dig into the
Now-
gutters
Because
like you,
I got to
Joe.
get a bigger power supply because it draws so much current that I guess my graphics card exceeds my rated power supply rating.
This
So
is
I
the
figure-
first time I've ever had a computer that can run a game at max graphics since like 1996. I have everything maxed out, and still at the end of the day, it's humming like a motherfucker. This thing, Yeah, it's nuts.
and it is up into the moment. It's the power spikes, and all of a sudden I'm staring at a black screen, and what the heck happened?
Yeah.
And to be fair, Solasta does the same thing. I found out. So I was in the middle of the final fight of the current campaign, and it rebooted on me. So
Hey guys,
damn it!
go
I
back
haven't
to work.
I haven't fired up to see where I'm at, but
What's the
I
matter?
have to refight
Oh,
that whole thing. I'm
Matt, you going?
I have to go back to work. I have to,
I'm going to show you one thing, Matt. I'm going to share this screen. This is legit to share.
okay.
Oh,
All right, this is something because I know you were busting my chops.
I want to
about-
hear it from
Well-
Eric. This is legit to share.
Yeah, you're busting my chops about Rob's. Oh, he's always moaning and groaning. Let me just give you an example of something. That, all right. This is a
amazing.
fairly typical edit of Rob's goddamn thing that I was doing for 15 to 20
Oh, I'm
hours.
getting on your edit. Hey, Joe, I heard you had a secret channel.
I do, yeah. I know her. Yeah, me, and Matt, and Tim, and Ivy been talking for a while. We have that thing going. Do you see that thing? Do you see this thing?
I see nothing. Hope you guys are seeing.
Yeah, I
something.
see
Yeah,
nothing.
It's not sharing it. What's up?
No.
All right, let me share it again. All right,
You got
share
to turn
screen.
off the porn protection, Joe.
Christ, everything is a problem. All right, is that going now, Eric?
I don't know. It looks white from. Nope. Oh,
There you go. All right, that's a typical edit of Rob's. All right,
Nope.
so there was some work involved in this. All right, that's all I got to say.
There we go.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, I
really?
still don't see anything.
You can see it on the actual YouTube channel, but not in our.
Oh no
I
shit!
see it. No, I see it actually on the screen.
I do
yeah,
too.
on the
I see
channel,
it on
but
the
not
screen.
in the StreamYard.
No shit. I see the
Wow,
StreamYard.
that is a lot of editing.
That's what I'm saying. There was no joke.
Wait,
There
did
it
you
is.
do you
Oops.
get like credit, like co-writing credit for this?
I don't want co-writing. I just Joe the lawyer edited some of this shit.
Damn.
As I told Rob, I never want to get paid to edit anything for you guys because number one, we're friends, and number two, if I edit something and you gave me a couple $100 or whatever, and there's like a typo or a fucking stupid word that like I spelt wrong and it looked like an idiot, I'd have to give all the money back and I feel guilty forever. So I never want any money. I just want give me a couple copies, like give one to me, one to my brother, and we're good to go.
I'm just gonna say right now, I think we all need print review copies. All right,
Yeah,
hey,
so
I gotta
do
go,
some
guys.
work.
Good chatting with you.
All right, man. Later.
I'm still struggling. Joe knows how to write
Here's
because
the thing.
he hasn't published anything. And
Oh, here we go. There we go.
I was just under the assumption that he'd given up on the whole written language thing.
No.
By the way, Joe, I went through all the edits. They look good. I had to rewrite. I'm rewriting the NPC, not rewriting the NPC section. Reorganizing it. I didn't like how it was organized. It's nothing to do with you. I didn't organize. Every other section had nice. I feel it's nicely laid out in terms of headers and what stuff. But the NPC, I looked at it. It's like, well, that was crap. I got to reorganize this. But your individual edits of each paragraph, that was fine.
38,000 of them. Yeah, that was. That
Or
was good.
42,000. 4205. But to be fair,
42. It was that I didn't know there was a way to count the edits. It was 4,200 edits.
there was a lot of edits, Joe.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would.
It was good.
You said things more tersely than I did, and that to me that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
So
I figure I may not
if
be
you
perfect,
found a
but
way
it's
of saying exactly what I was saying, but in more terse form,
yeah,
I have no problem with that. So normally people will be offended, but I'm not because
no, yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I did it for you. Tim's the same way, So the people who are offended, I won't bother. But I had to, as I tell Rob, I had to translate from Conley-ese to the common tongue of the realm. Because here's the funny thing. It's a fucking great book. It's really, really good. 130 pages, and it's how to create a fantasy sandbox. And as Rob said before, it's 14 years in the making, right? It's like I spent four or 5 years running a campaign that I learned a lot of lessons from. And when I instituted this new campaign, I said, all right, based on what I learned, I have to do this, that, and the other thing. But it was more an intuitive, what do I need thing, right? It wasn't based on any structure or system or I read this somewhere or anything like that. Rob's been running the same goddamn campaign for 40 years in the same world. And so he's developed a system over 40 years to how to run a fantasy sandbox. And I was pleasantly surprised that a lot of the things that I had done just sort of like figured out and intuitively figured out that I needed to do. It was all in Rob's book, plus some. Like I learned something from it. It's a rare thing that I can learn something from an RPG book. There's been very few. One was Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master. Another one is Arbiter of Worlds by Macris, and a third one is Rob's book. I learned something from this, and that's a very, very good book.
Well, I'm glad that you found it useful. That's
it was. I know I got more work to do. So you motherfucker, you gave me more work to do now my campaign. So
I do have one more appendix to add. It's not long. It's just how to deal with hex grids on a map, and that's the last edition.
Yeah.
Other than tomorrow, I'll be tackling the NPC section on how to get that. Actually, the second half of that is okay. I just got to make the first half work with the second half better.
If my name goes on that as edited some of this shit, I'd be happy because I'm proud of what it is.
It is. It's going to be on there.
You know what I mean? I'm like, in other words, I don't care if it's on or not. But my point is, I'd be proud of it because it's a good publication. Like, I don't want to put my name on some shitty. You know what I'm saying? It's a good fucking book. So buy it when it comes out because you'll learn some shit from guys who do this for 40 goddamn years. And I'm not getting paid to say that shit. I just get a free copy, maybe if I'm lucky.
No, you'll get a free copy.
Yeah,
and I know last
you're all
time
sunshine and roses until it comes to your conspiracy theories on text at 11 o'clock at night and you're blowing up Rob. We'll see.
No, that's just because we didn't land on the moon. You guys, you simpletons want to believe we actually landed on the moon. That's up to you, all right? It's never fucking happened, and I got proof. So it's all, believe what you want.
I got proof too, Joe.
I got proof. I talked to a guy whose uncle was supposedly one of the dudes who went there, and he said it was all bullshit. So his uncle told him. That's proof.
I took a photograph and saw the landing sites, Joe.
That's it. That's all stage, Rob. If we went there, it wasn't on our goddamn little fucking capsule in a tin can in the sky. It was UFO technology that we've been hoarding since the fucking 50s, all right? So that's how we got there, if we went there at all.
Yeah.
The only thing that came out of the UFO, the only thing that came out of the goddamn NASA program is Tang and Velcro. That's it. Nothing else. We didn't go there on the fucking little Saturn 7 or whatever the fuck it was.
What, chewable toothpaste? And wait, I thought like dried ice cream came from NASA. Like that ice cream that you buy in the museums. Space ice cream. Chomp, chomp, chomp. No?
Well, I mean, yeah, true. All those things from NASA. Oh, and what else? Oh, yeah. Our entire transistor-based set of computers.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh, Joe. So smart, so brain dead. It's difficult.
You think? And then he goes silent.
Yeah. He must be he must be faking his landing.
The lander is over target.
No, my range on this is bad. I was taking a piss and I'm getting another beer.
Sure.
We were close. I was just figuring that your lander was over target.
Yeah, well, I got it all in the toilet, but it's over the target.
Dark side of the moon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, Greg, you mentioned Drugar earlier. So I'm in my next project, which is into the Majestic Fantasy realm, that I'm also still working on. I've just exit the desert portion, and I'm moving into Viking lands. So I get to have an area. I get to come up with use all kinds of Viking mythology in this region.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that there is some kind of a great warrior king that you can tell everyone about who got lost at sea.
Oh,
What?
What?
Missing
Remember-
something there. What the
Remember
hell
how
is happening?
my Viking character got lost at sea
Oh,
just
Christ, yeah,
recently?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did he
The
get lost?
campaign is still officially on hiatus. We
It's
couldn't
on
do
hiatus.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got to go back some
I'm-
point.
I'm perfectly ready for him. Yeah, I'm gonna come find out. You know, we're gonna start new characters, and he's gonna have been the dead guy and everything. Yeah, it was this legendary expedition of people that went off into the wood. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Mhm. I think he'll be king. I think Rob will jump ahead 5 years at a timeline, and Greg, your guy will be the king. My cleric will be. My cleric was the priest of the god of parties, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and bondage and domination. I think Rob, that was the gist of it, right? The web maker.
Yeah,
Yes, her religion has that aspect.
Well, that's the one I kind of focus
That's
on.
the area
So-
you're going to seg into.
You
I
could
am
be a
gonna-
video game developer.
Yeah,
I know.
say.
That's why this shit appeals to me, man. It's good shit. It's like the old goth club days back in the day. It was just good shit, man. Yeah. A sexy web, exactly. That's the web mistress or something, right? Yeah, sexy fucking web. Love Fist. I like that name, Love
That's
Fist.
the
Very fitting comment for the name, Love Fist. Love Fist. That's fucking perfect. Oh, by the way, I was at a restaurant. That's why I was late. Worst restaurant experience I've ever fucking had. I heard Greg busting my balls already when I was driving home. I'm a big whiny bitch. But let me tell you, when you order your food, it takes half an hour to get a fucking burger, and you order medium well, and it comes out like bloody, and you send it back, and it takes another half an hour to make a whole new fucking burger. And in the meantime, the mac and cheese I ordered an hour before came with the second burger. What the fuck is that? The only good thing they had there was I got so pissed that I ordered a couple of Long Island iced teas. Oh, that was good.
Are there any
That was good
mental
shit.
health resources nearby that can help you with your difficult problems?
No. That's why I have the Long Island iced teas. It's good shit.
Unfortunate. I've heard that WotC's going to start providing some mental health resources for streamers. Maybe you could do that.
I get edibles at Long Island, so I'm good to go, man. I'm fine. I'll survive. Love Fist, the RPG. Love Fist is the greatest name I've seen in years.
And it does sound like a raggy project.
Right?
Love Fist and the Tower of Doom.
Okay, so I released this for 2 hours, and I have 208 views of my last post which is the random table chapter, Joe. Fantasy Sandbox in detail, part 24, the last post. 208 so far.
Nice.
And
You're going to do a Kickstarter, Rob? I didn't even vacillate back. Vacillate? Is that a word? You're going back and forth on what you're going to do. Is there going to be a Kickstarter? You're going to do
I think I'm going to do a Kickstarter. I'm going to work on it this weekend. And I was worried about, Dominwood's having a great Kickstarter, and a couple of the others that Eric mentioned are having a big Kickstarter. But I realized, my thing is not really competing against them.
No. I mean, just in dollars. I mean, the only thing I would say is that somebody's going to be dinged for Dolmenwood at the end of the month for whatever they bid, 95. I think I pledged $95, but there's higher bids than that. But if somebody's going to be dinged for 95, you want yours to end one pay period or two pay periods after that. Well, you definitely want yours to end sometime before Thanksgiving and Christmas, because who the fuck has money then, right? We're all parents, or a lot of us our age, right? So you want to, I think, Rob, you want to start it mid-September or whatever, end of September, end of October, and that way you're clear of the Christmas crunch and you get your name.
Why not start it in 2 weeks or a week?
When does Dolmenwood end? You don't want your thing to end at the same time. You want at least two pay periods.
Dolmenwood has a month to go, 28 days.
Yeah, you want to end it a week after Dolmenwood or 2 weeks after Dolmenwood, Rob. At least a pay period after. You know what I mean? That's my gut, at least. I would say end at the end of.
I can schedule. I would be glad. I would schedule it for 2 weeks after. I wouldn't start it 2 weeks after Dolmenwood, but I can start it during Dolmenwood. And
yes, and you could end it 2 weeks after. At least get a pay period, a 2 week pay period, so people have another check to bid. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean the price point for the final product, thinking about it, it's going to be a $30 book.
Now, here's the thing, Rob. We've been talking about this see, Rob's book, guys, is 130 pages, How to Run a Fantasy Sandbox. But within that book, he uses his own rules and designs a fucking setting. And after reading this several times, I want to play in this setting. And I said, Rob, you got to extract this shit. Everything that's like, it's a smaller version or maybe a bigger version, depending on how it comes out. It's the same thing as Black Marsh. He has a beautiful, perfect, great, well-developed setting in there on an island. And it's interesting. It's awesome. It's really good. And I was like, you got to extract this. And I was like, I already did. I'm like, well, fucking A, put that as a part of your Kickstarter, because if you have a bonus of, you can get the Kickstarter and get the book on how to do this. And by the way, that entire thing you just read about, which is probably 30 pages extracted from it, you can also have a PDF or a print of this book too. And Rob, I think you have, I don't know, I'm going to bust your bubble here, but you did say there's going to be a Black Marsh version 2 coming out, right?
Yeah, it's going to be part of the Kickstarter. It's going to be
part
like
of the Kickstarter.
That cost plus 50 cents, so it'll count as a sale.
Yeah, so you have levels of bidding in Kickstarter. You can get the regular one, you can get the how to run it plus the actual example one in there, so you could run your own thing, which is the new Black Marsh, and you could get the updated Black Marsh, which is not going to be heavily updated, just more layout graphics, things like that, or something.
It's going to be a digest version with new art.
Yeah, new art. So there you go. So you got tweaks and whatever, and so you're going to get on if you get all 3, it can't be that expensive, No, but it's good. It's really good.
So the base book, okay. So the base book, I'm thinking is going to, not the Kickstarter, but afterwards, it's going to be $30. For the Kickstarter, I will it will be total to the Kickstarter person $25, but it's not going to be because they have to pay the print on demand cost.
Yeah.
So it's whatever the print on demand cost turns out to be the difference, and that's what it's going to be $25 total for them. I did this for this book. It's going to be the exact same thing as this one, except there's going to be an extra book that you can get as well, which is going to be the standalone setting, and there's going to be Black Marsh, which is, for this one I offered just the Black Marsh I already have out there. So for this one I'm going to offer the digest version of Black Marsh. So it should be a winning combination, and it's going to be well within everybody's pocketbooks.
Yeah. It's never expensive what Rob puts out, so you're not going to break the bank, but it's good shit. I mean, we ran Black March way back, Eric. I didn't even know it was Rob's thing when he ran it for us.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea it was Rob. I didn't know until a couple of years ago. It was like, what, you made that? It's like, what the hell?
And what really pleases me when I finished up the book, before I hand it to you, I figured out where I can put it in the same world as Black Marsh.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to use the catalysm and all that stuff, but the Kingdoms of the Isle and the conflicts it's having with surrounding realms, I got a spot for it. That's when it's going to go. So maybe in 2025, I will release that as one of the areas that gets expanded on, and this would be the center part of it.
Yeah, no, it's
because
good.
I don't know why I like the name the Kingdom of the Isles, but it's just.
Well, wasn't that in the Pug Culgan Macros? Was it the whole Raymond Feist? Didn't he have the Kingdom of the Isles in that book?
Yeah, it was the super large kingdom that stretched from west to east.
Yep,
they called it the Kingdom of the Isles, but mine is actually. Think of the coast of Turkey. Yeah. With all those islands in the Aegean that are part of Greece. Well, imagine all those islands are a little bit larger and part of a kingdom. That is what the Kingdom of Isle on the original idea I had for that. Yep. And so I have a spot like that I plotted out. I didn't really have that in mind for it, but I didn't detail anything for it. I think this is going to be perfect. So
good starter. I mean, it's a great. This is like that. Wizards puts out their starter kit for whatever the 5e, and I thought the Phandalin was a great starter kit. This is better in a sense because it's for more advanced players. You see what I'm saying? Phandalin's a walkthrough, it's a railroad, it's whatever. It's for new players. But if you want a starter kit for the OSR, this is it. Honestly, this is. I think that could be a label.
I worry that the island's too small, but
no, it's good. You can eventually have to develop the mega dungeon. You got underneath it and some of the levels of the other thing. Or we'll let the players do it themselves. You know what I mean? That would be part 2. Is here are the levels. So the bone keep and the fucking mountain. That would be good. That would be good. But you could drop anything in there. Shit, let them do it. Yeah, I agree. Ray Feist's World of McCamia, I loved that thing growing up. I loved the fucking Rift War saga. The first 4 books are fantastic.
And I hate to say it's my forgotten influence. I read it and I liked the first 4 books.
Me too.
And the rest of them were okay,
Yeah,
they just
steadily
they
downwards
quickly
in
go,
quality.
oh. And but I read the first 4 books, and it was great.
I
And
love it.
so let me, if you don't mind, Eric, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. I think the first 4 Rift War books with Pug and Macros and Thomas and that whole bit, they were the more foundational thing in my D&D experience, more than Lord of the Rings was, more than Fritz Sleiber was, more than any of those other Appendix N people. That set the standard for me in terms of how I view a campaign. How to run something, world spanning, big in scope, well developed place, good history to it. That really did set the standard for me.
Oh yeah, I mean that I like how real it felt.
Yeah, because it was a played world. You know what I mean? It was a place they lived in.
No, whoa, no, that part wasn't played.
No, yeah, it was later on in history, yeah, or something, right? It was like
right.
This is
the
the
campaign.
earliest.
The campaign occurred later on.
Yeah, like 500 years after.
And this is all they had a catalysm of their own.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I got the idea for mine. Anyway, but they had a catalysm, and that's the campaign that they played, and that's the campaign they published. Because you can buy, it's not the complete set, but you can buy some of the modules.
Yeah, I think I have the Karst book and all that stuff.
Yeah, the Karst. And Feist took the prehistory, and he just ended 2 years ago the entire series. He published.
Did he really? He finally finished that shit. 30 years later?
and the last
35?
book is Pug dealing with whatever the big bad was, and in the consequence of him dealing with it, he caused the catalysm that created the modern.
No shit.
Yep.
No shit. I gave up. Honestly, I tried a few books after the Rift War, and I just stopped because it was like, it just wasn't my thing. Honestly, too. I mean, who's it? Dietis is saying he read the books before Lord of the Rings. I didn't. I read them after. But Lord of the Rings didn't resonate with me as much, even though I see obviously the D&D roots in there. I read those. I liked the Belgariad a lot. I think I was 14 or 15. I really enjoyed the Belgariad, the first 5. They were good too. And I even liked the Shannara books, the first 3 Shannara books, Sword, Wish Song, and the other one. They were good too. Elfstones, yes. Yeah, they were excellent too. Those 3 series were my D&D book foundation. The Gary Gygax's Appendix N, that wasn't mine. I went back and read the Fritz Leiber shit. I read the Michael Moorcock stuff. I after the fact, but it wasn't the foundational thing for me. This big stuff, the big world spanning things, and that's how I run my campaign. The last one I ran was world spanning kind of a thing. It really did influence me. It's in my head. Eddings was great. Yeah, he was. But the second 5 Belgariad books were a virtual clone of the first 5. And he even had them talking about, hey, didn't we do this before? Yeah, huh? Yeah, it was a cycle, huh? It's like, come on.
Yeah, I think I made it halfway through the first and the second books, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Can't do it again.
So, let me see.
I passed an Elfstone. It was amazing. It was.
I'm sharing my screen, Eric.
Oh, there we go. Bingo card moment here, folks. Elfstones are painful to pass. Yeah, I bet.
Minimize that.
Magical pain. What are we seeing? Oh, there you go.
So this is the settlement on the island, and this is all the name parts. But I figured that the way the weather was set up, all your best agricultural land was going to be on the south side. So that's where all the settlement. And up here is the wilderness. Now, each of these hexes are only 3 miles.
Yeah.
But there's like an old ruined port in 402 that's filled with undead. It's meant as a low-level adventure area. There is a ruined castle in 302 that's slightly tougher. And then the mega dungeons in 303, which was the the headquarters of the Lich Lord when he ruled this island centuries ago. And there's all kinds of politics and adventure possibilities happening here. Like there's a bunch of smugglers that, people are trying to get. There's stuff happening underwater.
Yeah.
And so,
Pirate action.
there's a lot of, there's personalities, having their troubles and having their concerns. And this, and I'll show it to everybody here, but this is the original.
No shit.
No shit. I had 24 of these sheets, Joe, and I lost 23 of them. This is the only thing.
Jesus.
And they were all mapped like this, and I could lay them all out on my bedroom floor. This is when I was in junior high, around 1980. And I could lay these all out in the bedroom floor, and they would form.
Look, the Poe Empire. There it is, the Poe Empire and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when I saw this, and I did 30-mile hexes because each of these small hexes are 1-mile hexes. So Greyhawk had 30-mile hexes. Well, that's what I picked, 30-mile hexes.
For the big hex. Yeah, you mean the big hex there.
Yeah, the big hex is 30 miles. And then, so when I did looking something, what can I detail that's small for how to make a Tandy sandbox? And I realized, hey, I got this small island. I can use that. So that's what you got, Joe.
Yeah.
Because the amount of work you have to do, and this is why I recommend the page size setting, but not larger, like poster size, is because the amount of work is every time you double the map size, it's 4 times the amount of work.
Yeah.
So that's the thing you got to watch out for when you tackle something that's really big. And that's why it takes me so long to write into the Majestic Fantasy Realm, because it's.
Did you just use AI to write it, Rob?
I could be like Imperium Games and just sell what I randomly generated on my PC Junior in the mid-90s and get away with it, but no, I'm not going to do that, Greg. Oh, I'm serious. Oh, no, so people are hemming and hawing about...
Ass shot. Screenshot that, baby. Ass shot.
No, I don't have to screenshot it.
No, I'm talking about your ass, Rob. You're giving us the full moon, Rob. We got the full moon.
There's no plumber crack.
No plumber
Believe
crack.
me, I saw plumber crack on Monday.
Oh, yeah. He does have a good wedgie going, though, there, Rob. You should, come on. Just. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anybody got a quarter? A slot machine.
Oh, man. Baldur's Gate is the right game for you, Joe.
I know. I blame it all on the Long Island Iced Teas, but I really can't. So it's just.
Now, Joe, you're going to be playing it with your brother because you can play multiplayer.
We started already, yeah. So I got a single game going, and then I got a multiplayer with him. And the thing is, here's the weird thing about this, guys, is that once you start, like I got my guy and my brother's guy in a multiplayer game. That's it. We can't invite more people later. We can't. Like if we ever play that game with just me and him. If I want to play with Dwayne and Kurt, it's gonna be me, Dwayne, Kurt, my brother. You know what I mean? It's like we got to have all of us there to play this thing. It's kind of strange.
So this was published in 1996 by Imperium Games. Ken Whitman, by the way, it was associated with this. And this is First Survey, which most of the Traveler stuff that came out for Classic Traveler, like the Spinward Marches, were based on the second survey. So when they came out with Traveler 4, they decided to take it back to the foundation of the Imperium, and people were excited. Hey, First Survey! But when you actually get to it, it's all randomly generated.
Oh,
I'm going to give you a solo.
See, it's all of these look good. They got names, but no, they're all randomly generated.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's just pages and pages of this
bullshit book. How much did they charge for that piece of shit, Rob? That you got suckered into buying it, apparently.
Yeah, I got suckered into buying it. I paid $23 for this. in
That's 30 bucks you'll never
1996.
get back. 96?
I would.
It's like $40 today's money, man.
I was pissed. Oh, and of course, a lot of
hold
effort.
on, hold on.
A lot of
I gotta go back to solo.
a
We got
lot of effort into these pages.
Yep, nothing.
Just put some dots in the middle of some hexes.
Yeah. What a piece of shit.
Some
So
random letters and numbers. You're good.
let me
After I
see if I
bought-
can find his credit.
This is why whenever I went to Walden Books and hid in the back corner and was deciding what to get in terms of the next module or whatever, me and my brother with our paper route money, 1985. After getting burned on the Forest Oracle, every day after that, we went down there. I would slit the fucking plastic open on top, pull out the module so I could read the motherfucker before I purchased after the Forest Oracle. That's what you should have done before you bought that goddamn book, Rob.
You don't have to zoom in on it, Eric, but here, this is the sum total of creative writing in this whole book. 2 pages.
God.
But there's a table of contents too, but there's this and a short story.
A short story.
And the reason you knew something was wrong is because when you went in here and looked at known world that had supposed to have high population and high tech for the time, lower tech compared to what the golden age of the Imperium was like, you knew something was off.
Right.
Because they plagued. So there's this planet that was once the former capital of the first Imperium, the one that the Earth fought against and won. So this is supposed to be the center of a galactic empire that lasted for 5,000 years and had a population of 40,000 people.
Maybe they got COVID.
Don't even start, Greg. Come on.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Yes, Ken Whitman was associated with Imperium Game. This was pre-internet, so his scams could run longer.
So that was before Wit Productions or after Wit Productions or whatever the.
Half
That's why you had that Kickstarter for the Traveler series, and he got permission from Mark Miller because he was one of the Imperium Games crew.
It all comes together. All comes together now. The history of the wit.
The Wit.
So people are moaning and groaning about AI produced product. They're right to moan and groan because otherwise you get crap like this.
Yeah.
Well, that's like AI stupid produced. That's like we want dumb AI as opposed to smarter AI. It's not really smart yet. It's getting there though.
It's going to be a useful tool. I mean, you could ChatGTP. There's an add-on for it now that you turn on, and you can feed it a PDF, and then you could. So I fed it one of my PDFs for. I needed to come up with a fairy adventure for a campaign. I'm 5e campaign running now, and I need a new fairy that's not on my list. And so I fed it and told me to give me a dozen possible, based on this PDF, give me a dozen new major she. And it did. And I combined 2 of them. All of them weren't really suitable right off the bat. But I was able to combine with 2 of them, and it now sits in my hopper when those guys get to that area, if they get to that area, and I can use them.
Rob, I can tell you this: if they're just like the leprechauns and all the other weird shit you had on that weird place, we're all just going to kill it again. So don't bother even naming them because they pissed the fuck out. They were just like, Jesus Christ. We were all waiting for it, and Tim drew first blood. Tim's like, fuck this, I'm killing them all. That was it.
Sorry, man. I had no idea that limericks were going to just trigger.
It was
literally, that is an appropriate use of the word.
No.
How could you have possibly, Tim for so long, right?
I know, that's the funny thing. Tim
It's what-
didn't last 3 minutes, and he was like killing leprechaun. There was leprechaun blood staining the woods for miles around as soon as you dropped limericks on that group, dude. It was done.
Well, speaking, if we can talk one more game, since I have it out already.
No.
This, if you go to the Columbia Games Kickstarter for Asmir, This is the it's going to be a hardback version of this, and the cover is going to be like that. But you go in there, and the thing about so the rest of the Harn is basically feudal realms, and they all distinctive, but this is a dwarven realm, and it's not a joke either. It's like it's presented pretty straight. So it's for those who like dwarves but want something more grounded. This is an excellent product to get, and so it gives you a dwarven kingdom.
I backed it. I'm back to it. Now I'm in because I keep buying the same fucking. I bought 2. Now I got to keep buying them forever. How many Harn books are there I'm going to have to buy, Rob? Because I can't not have a complete set. But when does it end? What are we up to, the 5th one now? When does it end?
Hold on,
Oh,
Joe,
Jeffrey, hold on.
answer
I'll
your
let you
question.
know. I'll let you know.
This
Hold on.
is so this
It's on
is
the page. They
Is it?
tell you. Yeah, hold on. Somewhere here I saw it.
I keep dropping 50, 60, 80 bucks on this goddamn thing. I'm like, please no more. Every few months I'm dropping another Harn book.
Somewhere they
I can't not keep backing them.
Well,
I mean,
hold on, I'll check. Let me see. So you got Caldor.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
Caldor,
Christ, we're only
Meldorin.
halfway through? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
Cande, Chibissa, and Tharda, which is a now Tharda may be interesting to some of you because it's not a feudal realm. It is a merchant republic. Eval is Elven, so they're doing that last because that was the first in this current wave of publish in Eval, the Elven Kingdom of all. The Elven Kingdom was updated first. Chibissa, though, if you go back up, Chibissa may be of interest, even though it's a feudal realm. It's a small one, so it's relatively complete. So you're not going to get like sucked into 50 million additional add-ons like you would for Caldor or Meldorin or Retham. So. So yeah, Joe, you're at the halfway mark right now.
Yeah, that's it. We're at the halfway mark. We're done. You know what I mean? The sooner we So it's like what's it cost? $80-100 or something every time we bid. For the good stuff. We got the PDF.
But how good is it, Joe?
It's good. I mean,
it's $49 for this one. $49.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's good shit. And it's worth it. It's a nice book. It's quality book. I don't think it's print on demand. I mean, it's a good quality book. And just a lot of fucking detail. If you like simulationist reality, it's really good shit. It's one of those things you got to sit down and it's not something you pull out while taking a shit. It's like you need a few hours away from the kids and wife and just sit there on the deck with a beer and just delve into this thing. You know what I mean? It's not material. It's solid stuff.
And
material.
Reading material while taking a shit. Material. Never heard of that?
But it's not like Gorantha or Tecamel, where it really only makes sense in terms of its own logic.
Yes, you're right.
You could. It's very there will be sections of it you can easily rip out and put in another setting.
I've stolen maps already. The maps are extraordinary in these books. They're extraordinary. They're really, really good. I've stolen them already. Use them in my campaigns.
And if you gotten Harn stuff years ago and you weren't too impressed, they really upped their game. What they really expanded it in is before they would just say you have a miller and his name is Nareg and gave you 1 or 2 sentences and that's it. Now they kind of flesh out the NPC a little bit. It's still not excessive. Like instead of 2 sentences for Nareg the miller, they have 2 paragraphs now, and it's not that large, and they have adventure hooks all over the place. So that's another good thing about it.
All right. Since we have Kickstarters open, I'm going to go to a few other Kickstarters that are interesting.
Oh, almost there, almost to the million.
Yeah, almost at $1 million, huh?
Yeah, look at that, 6,700 backers, 28 days to go. This one is one for the record books. It's really looking sweet. I initially was like, I don't need more. I was like, man, I don't need any more overseas shit. And then I read it and went, you know what? I guess.
Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
That's it. Or in for $95, like me. That's
what I'm in for. Rolled up.
Now, this one is by Robert Schwab. So If you know, what's it? Shadow of the Demon.
Oh,
This is
the
gonna be
Demon Lord.
Demon Lord. This is gonna be Shadow of the Weird Wizard. A little bit less overtly satanic, and already at $250,000, 26
Nice.
days ago. And last but not least, the ones that I've been looking at, I just posted about this one today. Our good friend Phil Reed has 50 patrons of the market, basically systemless fantasy RPG cards to pull out. It's good for if you're going to be an improv DM or even setting up your adventure and you want to get personalities out. This is an inexpensive way to do it. It's a short. I think he's only doing like 5 days in this one. So
It's like he's shooting for a weekly paycheck. Hey, time I got this idea. 50 pages of market up on the roster. There's my weekly.
mhm.
After he deducts his cost and shipping cost, and he's
Well,
got his weekly.
there's no shipping cost on these because these are all PDF or print on demand through drive-through.
Oh, they are okay. Or even better yet.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I backed, Eric? Here's a Kickstarter I backed. Let me share the screen. No dicks, I promise. No penises or vulvas.
I thank you, sir.
All right.
Find
I
it
backed
hard
this.
to believe, but
This was a like Joe Block has. I have every. Is she in it, Eric? Or is it coming through yet?
Hold on, yours are a little slow.
All right, yeah.
I'm not seeing anything yet. So hold on, let me
It's
remove it and
weird.
edit.
I don't know. I wonder why it's not sharing correctly for me tonight. It's very strange. It never happened before.
I don't know.
That's really strange. Let me stop it again, and let me try to share it again. That's really weird. It's never done that before, where you couldn't share your damn screen.
yeah, don't worry, ladies. Joe usually has no performance problems.
None whatsoever. That's what the blue pills are
He
for.
has these anxiety issues, but they go away.
There it is. There it is. All right. I backed.
Yeah.
This was good. I mean, he made 50 grand on this goddamn thing. 700 backer, $6.99.
I backed it.
I backed it. I have in print every single thing Joe Block has ever put out, except for Castle of the Mad Archmage. Mostly because when it came out, I was kind of broke, and then I bought his later stuff because I was never into like this kind of style of Mega Dungeon. But this game is like he's like, well, because I saw him at North Texas, and I'm like, yeah, I got everything you have except this, man. He goes, well, I'm going to come up with a 10-year anniversary coming up soon at Kickstarter soon. He says, but I got this stuff here. I said, no, I'm going to wait for the 10-year anniversary. I'll get all the bonus stuff too. So so we got all the bonus maps, everything in one place. And this is the only time you could have gotten this in one place. So since the Kickstarter is closed now, I'm just sort of taunting you that you didn't jump into it. So
Yeah, and it's right. It's only Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. So if you didn't get it, you have to, get a collector's copy or something like that. But it's a really, it's not, again, you've heard my rants about, Mega Dungeon style maps, but the content is good. Even if you don't use the maps, you could steal rooms, steal whatever the hell you like. You know what I mean? So it's, and he's a good guy. So support a good guy, it's good shit. So I backed that recently too.
Not just because his name is Joe.
No. Yeah, but you Joes do have to stick together. That's the thing for us Joes. We got to stick together. Yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm looking forward to it. I got to do my update at some point where I go through all the Kickstarters I backed and find out what's fulfilled and where the fuck are the rest. Every few months I go through and do that list. Derek, you had that going for a while, right? Your
I
shit
used
list.
to do the overdue list.
Yeah, your shit list. I remember that.
I used to have it color coded on the blog.
Yeah, you did. That's right. I forgot about that.
Then it got too much.
Yeah. Well, you backed. How many have you backed so far, guys? What's your number? What's your count?
Do I have to say?
I don't know. Well, don't say it around Rachel. She'll beat your ass if it's too high. I wonder why.
Yeah. Hold on.
Where the money go?
I got to double. I got to go to view all.
Is that how you look? I'm trying to find it myself here. I got to figure out what the hell it is.
Project. Active pledges are 3.
Backed projects.
All right.
I got 3 actives, and I have 71 successful.
All right. I have.
What's your count? What's your body count? As the kids today say. Come on, Eric. Are you over 200? Come on. Where's Rachel? He's looking for Rachel. Make sure you don't get in trouble. Look at that. I saw that. He's gonna whisper that shit now. Watch. More than 200?
Yeah.
More than 3? Holy shit! You're more than 300 kicks. What is the ranking on Kickstarter? I got this like really cool ranker title or something.
I'm super. Once you hit a number, super backer.
That's it. You're like 50 and you're super backer
Yeah.
forever. He should give you a more than 4. Oh my god! Are you more than 5? Really? What are you at?
I'm at 122 projects.
Wow.
559
559
with 30 unsuccessful pledges.
I'm at
and
3.
3. Fuck, man. What did you back, Greg? I'm curious now. You only picked 3. What the hell did you back?
Well, for a long time, it was just one Battletech Kickstarter. And I generally would rather just wait for something to come out because I've got so much store credit on Drive-Thru RPG from selling. Like why would I put $50 down for something that's going to go to Drive-Thru eventually, and I'll just pick it up using the Drive-Thru money? So then I did Shadow Dark, obviously, and then I did Walking Dead because my son is a huge fan of Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted the special edition with the bloody handprint on the front. Yeah. So that I haven't gotten that one yet. It's still outstanding, but I have the PDF. It's basically the Alien RPG's chassis adapted to Walking Dead.
All right.
Well, so to answer your question, Greg, you cash it out and transfer it to your PayPal account.
Yeah, no, but then you pay taxes on it.
Sorry, my son just came up and asked me if this book was here yet.
We're talking about it, Dad.
Yeah. So what did you say, Rob?
If you cash it out into your PayPal account, and I'm like, I just leave it to. If I'm going to spend it on stuff, I'll leave it in the system because I don't get taxed until.
That's right. I only took some money out this year for the first time because I had to pay for a fence. Oh,
I counted it income the moment I get it. So
the price of wood, oh my god, like it's gone up because of COVID. Like it is insane what it costs to build in wood now outside. Oh my god, it's so high. But that was it. That was only building a fence. That was the only thing I've taken the money out for. Everything else has been recycled into stock art or our role playing game purchases.
Yeah, here's one for you guys. Let's see. Oh, I didn't share. Hold on. Let me try it again. Share screen. Share. Da 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 da. See that? Indiegogo. What'd you guys back?
That's us.
There you go.
Oh, good Lord. I haven't been on there forever.
Yeah. LOTFP hardcover adventures. Broodmother Sky Fortress. Hardcover referee book. 1975 and Hyperborea hoodie.
All right, hold on. I have to figure out how to even figure that out. Hold on.
I still have my login.
There we go.
My contributions, I'm guessing.
Oh, I backed Dungeonesque on Indigo. Boy, that's
I don't know. I got 9 pages worth, so I guess that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Less than 50.
I only have 4. I have Go to Launch Mercury, Dungeonesque, the Red Box RPG, RuneQuest 6 Special Edition hardback, and Starship and Spaceman 2nd Edition. I did not back James Raggy's referee book.
I did, and I'm still waiting. But as I said in one vlog or video or whatever the hell, whatever. It'll come when it comes. I'm tired of saying where the fuck is it because I know he's had a hard fucking time. You know what I mean?
Are people still using Indiegogo?
The thing with Indiegogo is that I think in Kickstarter you can't do another Kickstarter until you end one and fulfill it. Indiegogo you could do multiples or something, right?
I'm not sure.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that being a discussion point at some point.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's the gist of it, at least. Yeah. But I even if you could do 2 at once, even if you did Indiegogo and Kickstarter, you're good to go. You know.
There you go.
2 at the same time.
Mr. Gunn, you're late. We're about to wrap up.
Yeah, Mr. Gunn, you missed the Harn segment. You missed a lot.
Yeah.
50 lashes met a wet noodle, or something like that. I don't know.
So, Mr. Gunn, you missed the big news that I posted my last How to Make the Fantasy Sandbox post. So go to my blog and check it out.
Thatintheattic.com. By the way, I have Filipino karaoke going on in my background. So,
Again.
oh, it doesn't end, man. It doesn't end. And I figure in about 20 minutes I'm going to be hearing "Happy Birthday" because there's once you hit 10 o'clock, they somehow believe that you can't get a noise complaint if it's a birthday party. So it's like going "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday," and it's never a name. Happy
It's just
birthday,
a
dear.
random happy birthday.
Yeah, it's a happy. It's like how many birthday parties can you have when you're having 2 to 3 parties a week? How many? Come on. Mr. Gunn, sleep is for the weak.
Yes, we don't need no sleep.
Oh, by the way, Eric, I learned something this week that I was very surprised about law enforcement.
What?
Did you know that you can use tear gas to defend your home as a legal weapon?
Tear gas? In what state besides Texas?
You can buy them online for $15 a canister.
No.
And
this is
it's
for
it's
external.
legal for home defense.
Where? Not in blue states, I'm sure.
Yeah, in California. It was saying legal in California was what I saw. Yeah. Yes. $15 a canister. I couldn't believe it. I was looking it up because I was writing an entry in a sci-fi setting. And I was like, looked it
Oh,
up.
all right, let's see. Tear gas. Okay, tear gas for home. Tear gas device for home use, a bestseller according to Detroit. That's a Detroit news article. Yeah. Oh my god. Wow, they have a tear gas gun. That's when it's fired.
I know.
Balls.
I guess it's under the same reason why you can buy bear repellent and pepper spray and that kind of stuff.
New York State, you can buy pepper spray. It's not tear gas, but you can buy pepper spray. But you can only theoretically buy it as a civilian from a pharmacy.
Interesting.
And
Pelican sells it. They make the Pelican cases and stuff. Yeah, you can just buy it online. I'm looking at it right now. $14.54. It'll be here in 4 days.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
Pepper spray is yes.
But I mean, imagine if you're upstairs in your house, and you had one of those grenades, and you just threw 3 of them down there if somebody was breaking into your house.
And it's you're like your kids sneaking in after dark. You know?
Well, I mean, I would check that first, but I'm saying, I mean, excellent home defense tool.
You think?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's great because you wouldn't have to clean up bullet holes. There might be a smell, but
a hell of a smell.
Whereas if you start popping off with a shotgun, you're going to be paying for some drywall.
Unless you don't have good aim. That's all. Aim well.
So they are pepper spray and tear gas rounds.
How do you even ship that? In what? How is that safe to be shipped by any means?
They're little balls. They're compressed.
Are they?
Balls. Yeah, they're compressed balls. This isn't a hand spray. This looks like
I thought it was like a canister that explodes in gas or something.
No. Engineered to stop a criminal without the lethal threat to a curious child in the case of an accident.
I just dropped you a link in the private chat, Joe. Look, take a look. I can't put it in the regular chatter. YouTube will block it.
Oh, I found another place that's selling that. Yeah. Interesting.
And that looks like a hand spray, though, Greg.
Doesn't the top of that look like a grenade? Like you pull,
that
lever?
That's actually, you push down on it and it sprays in your face. That's the fun of it, Greg.
Damn.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got one, though. I got one in my quick search.
salty.
Salt
supply.
supplied.
And you can get the one that looks like a firearm, or get the safety yellow.
Oh
Safety
man,
yellow.
looks like a gun.
It does.
This is a great way to get yourself killed, folks.
Yeah, no shit.
Any kids watching, don't try this at home.
What, I don't understand. So the pepper spray balls blow up, Eric? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Yep. Yeah.
And what's the? It's the same
The
kinetic
area of,
energy.
wait. You want the area of effect on it?
Yeah, I want the spell stuff here. Give me
It
the spell
says
stuff.
effective at 150 feet.
And a 6 to 10 foot radius.
Yeah. It's,
Wow.
So
Oh,
it
that's
explodes.
critical range of pepper spray. So no, it's effective at 150 feet. I'm gonna guess at least a 5 foot radius.
So hit him in the body, they're choking, is what you're saying.
Right, or or if you hit the ground in front of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, this guy, they got a video of a guy puking on their advertisement. He's bent over puking from the smell or something.
I've been pepper sprayed.
Look, he's
Multiple
on repeat
times.
puking.
I've never puked, but it is miserable.
Jesus
It
Christ.
is. And by the way, I got pepper sprayed by fellow police officers because they were trying to calm down. Well, that kind. We had an emotionally disturbed arrestee who tried kicking out the windows in our van. So as I went in to try to secure her, somebody else decided time to mace her.
Yeah.
You're macing me along with her, but in any case,
I had a thing of mace when I was working in this ghetto ass convenience store in New Haven, and I always had like this one of those extractable metal rod things in one pocket, and had the mace in the other, just because it's that kind of a place. So I remember one day I'm sitting talking to a guy and we're bored. It was like nobody in the stores during the day, and I said, "Hey Al, what do you think this smells like?" He goes, "I don't know." So you want to see? Yeah, there's a few people in the store. I give it a little blast in the middle of the store, just kind of like casual walk by, real quick blast, and it wasn't enough to like nail the whole store, but it was enough that after a couple minutes, the few people in the store all started coughing, but not like choking. They were like, but every one of them was doing it, but nobody knew that everybody else was doing it. Me and Al were like behind the counter laughing our fucking balls off because the whole store is choking. And it took like an hour to get that shit out of here. It was kind of nasty, but it was kind of fun. That's what you do in your 20s.
So Joe, by the way, what I just showed you cannot be delivered to California, New York, or Massachusetts.
Connecticut.
No,
Massachusetts. Really? Okay.
All
the blue states. I figured mine would make the blue state list.
Yep, and they all in one kit includes 10 rounds and 10 practice rounds.
I'm looking at some videos, Joe. It looks like it's got like a maybe 2 foot radius of actual visible stuff, but the drift may hit you. If you were that close, you may still get hit.
Yeah. You spray the woods or something like paintball wars. You spray the woods and you'll get somebody somewhere, Yeah.
I like this. Approved by U.S. military and Federal Bureau of Prisons.
Yeah. Did you guys ever do paintball? Ever do the paintball wars?
No.
I did that back in the day. That was fun. But we didn't do where you had machine gun paintballs. You had like single shot pump action stuff. So it was kind of more challenging that way.
Well, I'm in a bind because my brother is a Marine and very good marksman. So if I ever did paintball, the odds, like for a birthday thing or party, where he would end up getting invited and then just relentlessly target me on the battlefield. Every chance he got. I don't want to sign up for that.
Me and my brother, it was me and him and my buddy Kurt. We had these pump action. They were called the Splatmaster 2000 or something. It was like the cheesiest low end $95 fucking paintball gun you could get. And we just wanted to have fun. So we went to this is like, I don't know, God, we must have been 23, 4, something like that. We went to a park near our house, and me and Kurt were in the woods, and I had like jeans and a camo jacket and like a t-shirt underneath it, just a little bit of protection. The camo jacket absorbed some of the bullets. They wouldn't break. That was my way to cheat. But Kurt, my brother was hunting the flag, and me and Kurt were guarding the flag, and he's coming at us. I'm like, Kurt, he said, what? He goes, I said, guard my back. I said, why? He goes, I got to take a shit. I said, what? I got to take a shit, man. I can't wait. I got to go. He's like, son of a bitch. All right. So I'm sitting there dropping trout next to a tree, taking a shit. I realized there's no toilet paper. I had to rip my t-shirt into bits and pieces to take a shit. And all I'm thinking right now is, my God, if my brother finds me now and shoots me in the ass while I'm taking a shit, it will be never, ever will I be able to live that down. And he got there like 10 seconds after I pulled up my fucking pants. It was Jesus Christ. He would still be mocking me to this day. I would have had to do a seppuku, ritual samurai sword thing.
I'm
We'd know all
sorry,
of it.
children, for this horrible exposure to Joe's poo that you've experienced.
Yeah. Well, you did see the Baldur's Gate thing there, so
That's true, yeah.
just minor compared to that.
By the way, I just found out that Phil Reed's Kickstarter, the artwork is AI generated.
Who's Phil Reed?
That was the one I was just Phil Reed, it's still at Steve Jackson Games, but in a lesser capacity. He's the one that did the RPG fantasy cards there. He's a lot of great cards. He's Stuart looked into it. Stuart Robertson, and had to remove it from the OSR gaming group because the art looked like AI art to him. He did a little research, and it is AI art. The guy's LinkedIn calls the artist LinkedIn calls his job as an AI art specialist, generative AI in gaming. So I didn't look that closely at it, but it's a big issue. AI art's an issue, folks. So,
what are you guys going to do in your future stuff with as to AI? Will there be any AI content at all whatsoever? Are you going to make a pledge? Yes, no, or maybe? Do you have any? Have you made a decision?
I generate. I use the one-page dungeon generator, right? The dungeon to generate Matt Jackson / Dyson-esque maps. I will certainly use that. I've used AI to generate gaming scenarios, but I have to rewrite them anyway because they're so fucking horrible. I think the artwork's going to come along faster than the writing, but I'm not going to say I'll never use it. But I'm not a big publisher. I don't think it really matters what I do.
Yeah.
I don't have any intent to use it. I'm pretty firm on the record in our last conversation. I think it's morally wrong. I think it's one thing for me to read Lord of the Rings and say, okay, I'm inspired to make some game kind of based on Lord of the Rings. It's another thing for me to, I just don't feel comfortable having a machine disaggregate everybody else's work to such a degree that it can then reaggregate them. I'm not going to go after anybody I don't go after anybody for almost anything except just call Wizards of the Coast pieces of shit as they fly by. But I know Rob's, working ahead. He, for all we know, Rob could be AI now.
True.
AI
nice try, Greg. No, the only thing I use ChatGPT for is a super random generator, just for ideas. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's easier to ask it questions like, give me the names of 5 Mongolian desert spirits, and it'll give me the name, and then I'll go right to Google to see what they really are about, because you can't rely on that, but it's a good first start because you can the questions you can ask the questions naturally, so it's a good starter point. But to copy and paste it and use your own work, that's a fool's errand. I when I was making Black Marsh and Points of Light all those years ago, I played around with that. Even made a couple things like that. Like I have this random human village generator, and it's just like this Imperium game thing. It's a piece of shit unless you put the work in. So.
I think it'll grow. I think it'll. I mean, there's people submitting AI short stories and stuff to magazines. There's people putting books out on Amazon under somebody else's name, generated by AI, scraping their already existing books, and Amazon has to close them down and other sites. It's just going to grow and get better and better. We're just going to be there's going to be a discussion of what is real and what is not. What conversation? What did you read? What did you see? What videos?
It would take the next generation. It would take an advance in AI to understand context before this can get better.
Yeah, but it's going to get better enough, Rob. If that's even a phrase. It's going to get good enough better. You see what I'm saying? It's going to.
Robert, I don't want to cut you off, Joe, but do we really want to go down this road at 10:03?
No. Now is the time to thank our audience.
Amen.
Thanks everybody for showing up. It's a Friday night. I know there's all these great things you could be doing, but you're here with us. Listen, there's no live stream next Friday. With Glenn and I, we're moving it to next Thursday. Because I will be in Manhattan, in the city, at a Jimmy Dore show.
Oh, nice, man.
We got the meet and greet tickets, so Rachel's extremely happy. So I'll be seeing some, dare I say, left wing comedy. I know. I love my comedy. Jimmy Dore. I love political comedy because political comedy cuts between political lines, it crosses them, and it beats the shit out of those that need to have the shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
And he does it very well.
Yeah, he does.
To the left,
he just takes too long in his show to get to the point. That's my.
I can't watch the live streams.
No, me either.
I can't watch the live streams. I gotta just watch the clips.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does the fake phone calls, I always gotta rage. Oh shit, it's a fake phone call. Yeah. Skip, because I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, when he goes to a group of panelists or whoever they are to discuss things like that, I'm done.
Yeah, but Jimmy's good. I like him. So, folks, thank you to Rob. Thank you to Joe the lawyer, and thank you to Greg Christopher, also known as the AI bot at Chubby Fun for Games.
That's right.
We had a really good time, and thanks to Matt Jackson who had to bow out. But at least, and listen, a little Matt's better than a lot of Matt.
Look, he's getting to where it's so hard for him to do things because of his advanced age.
I know.
You know, he can't go through the whole 2 hours.
Guys, I'm starting a what is it, the GoFundMe thing where you raise money for a cause. Matt is running short on funds for his Depends undergarments. We need to really help him out in that department. All right, so I'm going to start a GoFundMe for this. All right, and those things are expensive.
It'll give
no, I don't think 30 days is going to shield you from be enough to shield you from Matt when he comes to Shire.
He was talking mad shit about me before. I heard it in the car. I was driving over him, heard that shit. Mm-hmm. He's not coming anyway. He's pussing out because I beat his ass in the fucking YouTube show thing where I got all the subscribers way before he did. I got to 1,000 before he did. And remember, the bet was he owes me a steak dinner at ShireCon that he's going to pay for with drinks, and he owed me $100 to my charity of choice, which was going to be Eric's whatever he does next thing. So he still owes me a dinner. Then motherfucker decides to bow out. Bowing out. He's not going to show up now because he doesn't want to pay up. Mm-hmm. You know, he has something to do actually with his family.
I was thinking watching Joe get beaten by Rob would be worth the price of admission.
That ain't gonna happen.
I need somebody to record it. It's gonna be a special on the RPG podcast. Look,
I have no objection. I'm even wearing one of my. I found one of my tabards in good shape, so I'm going to be wearing.
You're going to be wearing a tabard.
Mm-hmm. No other gear. I'm not gonna gear up totally for that.
I'm gonna be wearing knee braces and an elbow pad
and a cod piece. Yes, we know.
Well, Joe, I mean, you could yell out lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt a bunch of times, and then we could put it on the internet, and it would fly. I mean,
I could freak him out though. That's all.
No,
part of my psychology.
Greg, it's I call forth a lightning bolt, or it won't count.
Oh.
I know, but you see, there's like a viral clip of some dude from Alarm. Yeah, he was like, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Yeah, he was doing that. He was cheating the rules. Again, most LARP rule sets I know of, you have to say a little bit more than that. I call forth a lightning bolt. With Mystic Force, I pin you.
Oh my God! What?
Man,
All right, folks. On
That's
Yeah.
that note,
we need a Rob Conley
show.
SoundCloud where we could just soundboard, where we could just keep popping them up. You know?
We did have an ass shot there, so
oh
we
my
could
god.
put that up.
All right, folks. On that note, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. Tomorrow night, Gamers Health. I'll share some more of the healthy meal prep that Rach and I have been doing because I'm no longer on the Manjaro, so I got to actually watch my carb intake. So,
Manjaro.
Why are you no longer on the Manjaro? Oh, it's too
because
expensive.
it's too expensive. It's now $4.25 a month as opposed to $25 a month.
Can't you
Jesus
take
Christ.
advantage of the $25 coupon?
It expired. The $25 coupon expired on June 30th. The new coupon is $4.25 if your insurance doesn't cover it. And my insurance told me fuck you. So
You're
there you
diabetic.
go.
It's in their interest to keep you non-diabetic as possible.
Yeah, my pharmacy plan doesn't like injectables. They pretty much are because they get abused by so many people who claim it's for diabetes and are actually using it for weight loss.
Oh,
So,
really?
oh yeah. So it's a huge scam.
But weight loss is a good thing too.
Yeah, but no, it again, it's not. It's weight loss. You can pay the full boat of 1,025 or whatever the heck it is. 425 is the discounted rate. Still too much. Sorry. All right, folks. On that note, I know you don't want to hear about this shit. You don't want to hear about this shit? Come back tomorrow.
Just a plug.
All right, folks. Good night. Latest.
Later, guys.
See ya.